Jack Posobiec here at my home, Rob Dew on camera. As we speak, major GOP PACs connected to McConnell and the Republican establishment are conceding that Judge Roy Moore in Alabama, in this highly contested runoff for the GOP nomination, has won. Now, that's not 100% yet, but he's 13 to 15 points, depending on who you look at. CNN, the New York Times, or local numbers have him 13 to 15 points ahead, with all the major cities that are more liberal already reporting. Trump got conned into this by the Republican establishment. Stephen Bannon was absolutely right last night and today, saying this is your Waterloo. You've had 5 special elections that Democrats have all lost, despite the fact that they've thrown 3, 4, 5, some cases 6, 7 times the money at the candidates. The Republican Party has come in against some of their own people, and they've still lost. Now, in a major test, the Republican scumbag establishment, the Karl Roves, the Senate Republican leaders, all of these people, like Paul Ryan in the House, who've been trying to block this real Americana revolution, have got a big, bloody nose right now. And the word is the concession's just now coming, so we're breaking this first. Again, we're not jumping the gun. We're just getting there first. Jack Posobiec, tell folks what's happening.
Yeah, Alex, you're exactly right on that. And to say that this is a fail for them, to say that this is an epic fail, it doesn't even quite establish just how big of a crushing defeat this is for Mitch McConnell and the establishment. Alex, you were calculating the numbers before. It's tens of millions of dollars they poured in. The special interests, the PACs, all of this was coming into Alabama, flooding Alabama. Voters today said they were turned off by it. They said, we don't want this negativity. We know who Judge Roy Moore is. He's been out there fighting for the 10 Commandments. He was out there fighting for the rule of law. He was out there fighting against all of this stuff that was coming down. He was fighting for all of these values. He was doing it for many years. So you're going to try to tell us that Roy Moore, they were trying to call him a liberal. They were trying to call him anti-Trump.
Or extreme. They hit him with every form of BS. And just like all the Democrats are losing, now all the Republican establishment is losing, showing it's a major grassroots populist realignment. And as Bannon and myself and others have said, we're going to have a populist reset. Will it be socialist or will it be free market? Will it be Americana or will it be Venezuela, North Korea? Folks, this is the existential challenge, and it shows all the NFL pressure, all the Hollywood pressure, all the MSNBC pressure, all the CNN pressure, all the big telecom pressure, all the big internet giant, Google, Facebook, pressure and censorship has only blown up in their face. America coming back from behind with another massive underdog victory, it looks like, with Roy Moore. This is incredible. And it shows Trump, who sided with the establishment on this, he's still a great guy, and we know he's been saying he's wrong now, shows him it isn't about you, Trump, it's about restoring the republic.
Yeah, Trump had gone out there. We learned this lesson in 2016, right? He didn't campaign out there and say, hey, just vote for me because I'm Donald Trump. He came out and said, I have specific beliefs. I have a specific agenda that I want to push forward.
And I will not let you down.
Exactly. I will not let you down. It was about the message. It was about the movement that he started.
And the commitment.
And they thought that they could go against that.
Americanism, not globalism.
Americanism, not globalism. He said it himself.
That's what had me.
And so,
and he has delivered. It's a good message. They tried to isolate him, control him, give him BS. He's been 95% there. It's great. Better job than I could do. It's just that we're showing him who's the boss. The Republic's rising again. Call us white supremacists and all this BS all day long. It doesn't matter. We're not stopping. We know the truth.
We are going to continue this all throughout. Now, it's already seen the repercussions in Tennessee, where the senator, sitting U.S. Senator Bob Corker, has announced he's coming out because he read the tea leaves.
Well, tell folks, this is key. I forgot that part. Tell them.
So he saw the turnout. He saw that Moore was going to win in a massive landslide tonight, and that's what all of these results are now showing. So he read the tea leaves, and he said he was scared. He goes, Alex, you say it every day. The globalists are on the run. They're literally on the run. They're getting out of office. They're resigning, basically saying they're not going to run because they are afraid of standing before the American voter, before the power of this ascendant political movement, and failing.
And it's not just here in America, all over the world, whether it's liberal or conservative, if it's populist and nationalist and about getting jobs back and being countries again, like Trump said last week at the UN, they're winning. It's just common sense. And so here's the big takeaway. They tell you it's racist to be nationalist. They tell you it's racist to want lower taxes, even though Kennedy cut them higher than what Trump wants. They tell you it's bad to love your country, and it's bad to want free market, and it's bad to have freedom. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's good. It's what made us land of the free, home of the brave, all the world. Folks wanted to come here. So how do you demoralize and destroy that as an example of freedom? You demonize the freest country in the world to convince people there's no such thing, so you accept UN and communist Chinese globalist slavery. This election, like all the other special elections against Republicans and Democrats, show it's populist, it's grassroots, it's anti-establishment, it's pro-growth, it's pro-America, and blue-collar patriots that came from Democratic families like Stephen Bannon and others understand the tide and are just doing what's right. That's what InfoWars is doing, and we are committed to keep fighting the globalists 24/7 because all of the chips are on the table.
We're seeing it now also that the establishment is scratching their heads and saying, but wait a minute, Trump endorsed our guy. We got Trump. You guys all love Trump so much, and he endorsed our guy. Why didn't our guy win? We got your endorsement. We see, folks, it's because it's not about the man. It's not about...
Repeat what you said at dinner. They're going to counterstrike with, oh, look, they've rejected Trump.
Yeah,
No. We've stayed true and showing that it's grassroots, it's not a cult.
They're going to turn around and say, well, Trump's candidate lost. I bet you, Dew said this earlier tonight, I bet Rachel Maddow is going to go on to MSNBC and say, Trump lost tonight, it's a loss for Trump. No, folks, we know it's not a loss for Trump. The point is, it's the Trump movement that went on, the Trump movement that understood what was going on, understood why the establishment got the Trump endorsement, but also understood who the better of the two candidates were. They tried as best they could to put the screws to Trump. They understood that that guy Strange, that he's a swamp creature, that he was a McConnell guy, that's why he was in there, that he was part of that big government. He was a lobbyist. The guy wasn't standing up for grassroots values. He doesn't have any record of that. He was a lobbyist. He worked for many different corporations. He worked for McConnell years and years, all tied into this stuff. Roy Moore, the grassroots conservative. This is going to have repercussions all the way through 2018.
He's the perfect replacement for the now Attorney General Jeff Sessions.
Jeff Sessions, yeah. This is Jeff Sessions' seat. This is the state of Alabama. You're not going to get a moderate Republican in Alabama, okay? The people of Alabama, they saw Roy Moore last night, pulled a gun out on stage. He rode a horse with a cowboy hat to the polls today.
And they love that. And whether that's real or not, and his history shows he is authentic and bona fide, he has the bona fides, it shows what we want. We voted for Obama because he was a black guy, hoping it would bring people together. The same folks that put Trump over the top voted for Obama. The truth is we're not racist, so they say America's racist all day because they know it gets to us, because no matter what color you are, we're a good Christian nation on average.
Yeah, because people don't want all of this kind of racism. They don't want all this disunity. They don't want any of that.
We just want to have a good time and be strong.
They want regular stuff. They want to watch a football game and not have to worry about...
I don't want to toast Roy Moore yet, because even though he's 15 points ahead all over the state in different numbers and exit polls, they could pull something weird, but it looks like they're conceding. We're going to scan some of the headlines, see in the last 10 minutes if it's changed. Then we're going to end this live transmission, have a meeting about some important stuff we're doing, and then come back in about 20 minutes with another big video on Mueller, and they're now admitting that he's the guy that took over the NFL years ago, and he's the big fixer, and he's the guy now going back 11 years on Manafort in a witch hunt. This is not about Russia. They now admit that's true. We've got that breaking news. We've also got the fact that McCain is basically arranging his funeral plans right now, so he's going to be making the jump into hyperspace. A lot more coming up, but let's look at these numbers right here. Again, the New York Times is getting these from the Associated Press, but you've got all the places where... Well, go ahead and break these numbers down for us, Jack.
His lead is increasing since we started the stream.
Now it's 20-something%.
Look, we've got 53. So we got the majority of counties reporting.
What is that? That's like 20-something%.
And that's it's.
He's got a 20-point lead.
No, 13.
14-point lead.
13, 14 points up. It's huge. It's massive. Strange was supposed to win. If you listen to any of the Republican consultant class,
and the big cities are in.
Yeah, all the cities are in, all the major counties in. So yeah, these other precincts, there's not going to
be
a
lot of
population.
But it looks like it's expanded.
It's expanded.
I wonder if they've updated that, because doing your math, I mean, if you look at those numbers of like 30% more votes up there, I don't know. I'll have to do the math on that.
It's either way. This isn't even a close race.
This is a landslide.
This is a landslide. This
is a landslide. When you get 15 points or more against, that's considered a landslide.
It's absolutely a landslide.
They'll say like 7-8 points is a landslide now. So I mean,
they called Obama a landslide. He won with 5.
Yeah.
That's right. He won with like 4.9.
Yeah. So you got 139,000 votes.
Well, that's another thing. Trump said that 3+ million illegals voted. Now we know from the studies it was over 5. Some studies 7. And then now the Democrats admit they want illegals to be able to vote, and they're passing laws from Maryland to California so they can.
For non-citizens, because they know what they're trying to do, Alex, is import voters, basically.
They admit
they can't actually get people to vote for their agenda. They can't get Americans to vote for that. So they think, all right, well, all we have to do is import them from other countries. And when they come over here, say, we'll give you the benefits, we'll give you the citizenship, we'll give you your papers, give you a license, you can register to vote. They say, oh, please, no, don't register to vote. But we will also block any voter ID laws so you can actually go and vote.
And then they stonewall and say, we're not doing that, even though we have all the Democrats on tape admitting it. So here's the big takeaway, folks. Devastating victory again. That's why they're so desperate. The Democrats are becoming a coastal elites party. And if you expand on that, the Republican establishment knows, just as I said 6-7 years ago, I said, stop thinking the Republicans are co-opting us, taking over the Tea Party and putting money into it to try to defeat it, to try to control it. We're going to take over and win now because of them doing this, and we're going to get a president in. You watch. So all of this is part of a process. And if we just stay focused and don't let them mind game us and don't let them start a race war and just keep lovingly reaching out and boosting the economy, we're going to win. Jack, in closing, before we hit this final piece, my concern is, though, we have the Speaker of the House saying we're going to try to raise taxes, which they know is going to be a wet blanket on the economy. They're trying to keep Obamacare in. If we don't get those tax cuts, as the president has said, they could stall this recovery that's been very quick but still hasn't found its legs yet because it's only 8 months old. And that's the globalist admission. The big banks, all of them, want the economy to implode just to make us think Trump did it. A, will the public put up with that? B, can we stop it? I mean, how transparent is this that the Republican establishment thinks that they're going to get away with dynamiting the economy and that we're not going to cut the cancer out if they do something like that? I mean, this is just insane.
They're trying to create a bubble around this economy. They're trying to boost the Wall Street. They're trying to boost the stock market. They're trying to make it go up and up and up. So people that are in right now, people that have funds, people that have retirement set out there, people that have their IRAs, they're seeing it go massive growth, right? 13%, 14%, 15%.
And that's on people believing there's about to be a 10% tax cut.
Right, but then suddenly, if it doesn't come, if it doesn't happen, then it's all going to tank down. And then they want to pin that on Trump. They're creating an artificial.
And they admit
bubble
they are. How do they get away with that?
I don't think
because you saw consumer confidence for the first time went down because they believe that Trump may be stopped.
Yeah, they're realizing that the president's agenda is having trouble getting through. But what I think is going to be interesting, Alex, is when we wake up tomorrow and find out that Roy Moore is going to be the next senator.
That's a shot in the arm.
When we know that more populist economic nationalists, Bannon's term, economic nationalist type candidates are going to be getting into office throughout 2018. Now Trump is going to have more lieutenants, more allies, more people coming in to represent his agenda from throughout the country. And it's the South, of course, that's going to be leading.
And it's a litmus test.
Right.
It's a litmus test. He knows now, back the Tea Party insurgency, back the Libertarian Patriots, back the real conservatives, back Americana.
Go with your gut. Go with your gut. Stop listening to these people. Why does he have all of these political directors and advisors that weren't with him on the campaign?
They come from the establishment losers that are his enemies.
Exactly. These are the people that lost. These are the people that lost with Romney. These are the people that lost with McCain. These are the people that only know how to lose elections.
And they're positioning themselves for your destruction and their new job. And they're going to go on TV when you've been kicked out of office, if they're successful, and talk about what a piece of shit you were.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They're going to talk bad on you. They're going to go on TV. They're going to go get paid by CNN to do that. And then meanwhile, and if they stay with you long enough, they're going to write a book about it with their little tell-alls about, oh, this is what Trump was really like. And they're going to make it all up eating the Cheetos off the belly like in Newsweek. And it's completely and utterly false. Do we have an update?
People in the comments are saying more one, but I don't know if they're just
Well, I mean, we just announced more one, so we did it first. Yeah, it was clear. But let's look at Drudge. He always has it updated. I know our crew does as well in InfoWars. But let's see if Drudge has it. DrudgeReport.com. Great folks. They have our video here. Exclusive Senate testimony of Stone that nobody else has. He reenacted it and read his actual statement in the video. I don't see that. Let's just type in Alabama. See what's going on here. And it is not broken yet. Roy Moore defeats Senator Luther Strange.
ABC News.
Oh, hey, we're not fake news. We only did it 10 minutes before ABC News. We projected it.
New York Times just called it. Yeah, New York Times now has just called it.
Woohoo! Yeah.
That's right. I like that.
I like that. That didn't happen on purpose. It was a lottery ad for Texas popped up.
Oh, I thought that was you.
Yeah. Woo!
That was Roy Moore giving his acceptance.
Exactly. Here. That'll be coming up soon. Yeah. Let's go ahead and show what Bannon said just last night. Talk about prophetic.
Mitch McConnell and this permanent political class is the most corrupt and incompetent group of individuals in this country. Let's have a serious discussion of what's going on here in Alabama. They've raised $30 million to Judge Moore's, what, 2 or 3? And they've spent $30 million. They did not come down here to Alabama to have a reasoned discussion with you, to have a debate with you, to have any kind of talk about
they came down to dominate your ass.
Tell you how it was going to be.
Anything that's important today, America's commitments throughout the world. What they did, $1 million to destroy a man.
They got their ass kicked. Woo!
Now, is that money going to work?
They
didn't even have enough smarts
how much they lost
to do it in a
I think he's
sophisticated
about right. It's
manner.
like 32
They
million.
took out 30-second TV spots. You know why?
it's over 30 million.
Because they think you're a pack of morons.
There you go.
They think you're nothing but rubes. They have no interest at all in what you have to say, what you have to think, or what you want to do.
They're elitist.
And tomorrow, you're going to get an opportunity to tell them what you think of the elites that run this country.
There it is.
And I just love.
Anti-Trump. It's
I
not
love-
anti-Trump.
Yeah. It's just like Trump deviated here. We're showing him where we are. We're going forward no matter what happens to Trump. They impeach Trump, they kill him. Doesn't matter. We move forward. We're going to win. As I kept saying, you expose the globalist elites. You expose it's unelected. You expose the UN's tax exempt. You expose most of these Fortune 100 are tax exempt, have diplomatic immunity. You expose how they say you shouldn't be able to have a car or energy or healthcare, how they want to make you poor under globalism. It's over. You want an unelected system based on austerity that pisses on nation states and on Christians and brings in a bunch of radical Muslims. You're going to try to sell that over America and the big-titted success of Marilyn Monroe and 57 Chevys and the moon launch and all of our inventions and everything else. You lose. Get ready for it, assholes. I'm really feeling good, Posobiec.
I'm feeling great, man. Alex, you're fired up. This is great because I've been able to say, guys, we were just having dinner a couple minutes ago, and Alex was, he was having a good time. But you didn't know the win. When that win came in.
So much energy.
Now we're getting it. That you can feel that energy. This is America coming back.
Back from the
this
dead,
America
bitches.
Coming back online.
We were excited. You were projecting, I think he's going to win. I said, let me go check.
was like, I
and I
think it's
came
gonna
out,
happen, man. I
and
think it's
my
gonna
wife was
happen.
getting some ice cream ready and the kids. And I just said,
gonna
looks
celebrate.
like the win's about to happen. Oh, but we didn't need to have the New York Times tell us first. We could look at the numbers for ourselves.
No, because we actually understand
You
what's
were just
going
there.
on.
You-
I went down there to Alabama.
You helped Trump win.
I went down there. I worked with Trump all through 2016. I hadn't gone to Alabama before. First time in Alabama. Been to all states around there. Haven't been to Alabama. So I went down there. You know what I did? I listened.
And my grandma's really happy right now.
Is she happy? All right. Yeah, I went down to Alabama. You know what I did, Alex? I listened. I listened to people down there. I listened to their concerns. I listened to what they had to say. And I came back and said, yeah, Moore's going to win. Yeah, the people want more because they
You
don't
know where my
like
grandma's
this
folks were
guy.
from?
Where's that?
Coming in from Alabama.
From Alabama?
So she's
Oh,
happy.
there you go. Now I get it.
All right, good stuff happening. Well, yeah, she just died a few months ago, so that's her ashes.
Oh, man.
Well, listen, we're going to do a new video in a little while. We're meeting about some big plans, stuff we're developing, all the great crew. Jack, you're doing an amazing job. Any other comments here that you want to make to all the folks out there watching?
I would just say to the GOP establishment that keep spending your money because the more you spend against us now and lose only goes to show how much less money you'll have to run against us in 2018 and in 2020.
Just like
and
the Democrats who
2024.
can't raise money. And here's the thing. It's not a threat to pull this knife out. I want the GOP establishment, the cancer know. We have a mandate peacefully from the American people to cut the cancer out. And that's what's happening. So get ready. You're going to lose your ass. Nothing you pull. No false flags. None of it. We'll put this back in the bottle again. Got it? You lose. Posobiec, tell folks how to follow you on Twitter, everywhere else.
For my Twitter, it's Jack Posobiec, JCKPOSOBIEC.
And Rob Duo.
You can find me at Dues News, and I think tomorrow I'll be on the War Room again for the next 2 days from 3 to 6 p.m., so you can check me out there. And join in. We take calls all the time, so join in on the conversation because that's what it's all about. It's about what you think out there and what your perspectives are.
And by the way, I want to say one more last thing here at the end. corporate media always makes a joke that Alex Jones started out 22 years ago, or 18 years ago as you go back in time, doing his show out of a bedroom, out of a child's bedroom. It was a house I had, some kid that lived in, so it had like choo-choo wallpaper. And I could go into the studio and do my show, but sometimes I did it from home. And one time a crew came from the British BBC and saw the choo-choo paper on the walls, made a joke out of it. And I said, yeah, go ahead and videotape. There's choo-choo wallpaper in here. We're doing a mission. We're getting the word out. It's not about being elitist. It's not about red carpets. It's not about Hollywood. It's about individuals and empowering humanity. That's what Americana's about. And they made a big issue out of it. Well, you know what? Here we are right now in my children's nursery, just like before. And I got some artwork up there. Got some Dr. Seuss prints up there.
That's the actual prints?
Well, they're like limited ones. They're not that fancy. It's just some stuff I got.
It's pretty cool.
But the whole point is here you are. It's my office/nursery. That's what we're not elitist, folks. I can have a bigger house. I don't care. I want to put all my money into defeating the globalist. This is so sweet right now. Yeah. This makes me so excited, gentlemen. All right, great job. Anything else, dude?
Well, I just want to say that I think with the Tennessee race of Corker, and now there's talks of Peyton Manning coming in. The big test for Peyton Manning is, will he take a knee? Because with all this NFL stuff going on, is Peyton Manning going to take the knee and kneel before Zod, or will he stand up for the American people and say, you know what? I support the flag, I support the country, and I'm ready to go kick some butt in the center for
And aren't you proud? I'm proud that the main rebellion, because it's true, they give us the credit and it's accurate, the main reboot in the last few decades, not just me, but Ron Paul and others from right here in Texas.
The big...
So I saw a guy say,
it is.
He said decades ago, I felt like it was going to come from Texas.
Yeah, and it has been. And it's been led by Ron Paul, who you had on the show today, who had some common sense approaches to how to de-escalate what was going on in North Korea. And I thought the most poignant thing he said, Alex, was we went into North Korea when I was in high school. Ron Paul's 80-something years old now, okay? We don't have any business messing with the North Koreans, but we don't need to let them push us around either. But we need a safe transfer of power, and we need to let those people come in and experience what capitalism's like. Because let me tell you, you look South Korea, that is a booming economy. That is a booming nation.
And that's why these football
those guys,
players
they make the best TVs.
Making on average $5 million a year bitching. It's just horse crap.
So all we have to do is get North Korea to come into South Korea, and you will have a whole great region down there in the Korean Peninsula. And maybe what we did, it took many years for it to happen, but maybe it wouldn't have all been in vain. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we can come
the listeners, I agree. They're telling
peaceful
us,
resolution.
I agree. They're telling us we rock, you rock, more transmissions coming. Spread this video as soon as it's archived. Nothing can stop you when you get the transmission out.